My name is Clay Clark, and I'm the CEO of Thrive15.com. And today I am excited to be joined with Clay Stairs. I'm joined by Clay Stairs, the millionaire school teacher. And this guy is going to be teaching us the 11 major attributes that every leader has to have if they want to become successful. This guy went from the classroom to a place in his life where he's a millionaire who's traveling all around the world teaching the leadership principles we all need to know. So as you're watching today's episode, specifically, you're going to learn the traits, the attributes, the things we all need to do to lead a group of people to become successful. And who knows, today's episode may just turn out to be worth $1 million to you. Remember, at Thrive15.com, we believe that knowledge without application is absolutely meaningless. So as you're watching today's episode, ask yourself, what do you need to do to specifically apply these principles in your own life and business? Otherwise, today's episode may just prove out to be more meaningless than a selfie taken by America's invisible man. Today we are joined with Clay Stairs, the millionaire school teacher. And Clay, you're a man who's literally moved from the classroom to the point where you travel now all around the world, and companies call you and ask you to teach leadership and success and how people can move from where they are to where they want to be. And so I figured there would be nobody else to interview about the 11 major attributes of leadership that were originally defined by the late great author Napoleon Hill, the guy who wrote the book Think and Grow Rich that made a big impact on your life. Yeah. So now here's a little stat here for you, just to kind of get us introduced into this.
I like it.
According to a recent Gallup poll, over 70% of American workers are either actively or passively disengaged from their work, meaning 70% of people don't really care about their job. Now, this is a troubling statistic. Not only is the human cost immense, the U.S. economy takes a $370 billion hit from this army of the disaffected. The message is clear. Leaders have to do a better job at building employee buy-in and job satisfaction. Now, that quote comes from Forbes magazine, 2014. So, Clay, in your mind, why are most leaders so bad and are most employees so disengaged?
Well, I think, first of all, the primary reason why employees are disengaged is because the reason why employees get up, just so you know, Clay, because you're very different, all right, than most other employees. The reason why employees wake up every day and go to work is to get the paycheck. That is the reason. If there wasn't a paycheck, I'm not getting up and coming to work. It's not going to happen. And so the whole motivation and the whole inner drive to engage in a company all comes from, what can the company give to me? And unfortunately, so often the companies are in a position of saying, no, what can you give to me? And so you've got the employee, a lot of times we see in fast food or something like that, you go up and order a hamburger and you get a young kid that you're just kind of wondering, are you going to touch my food? Well, that kid is there for a paycheck, and he's saying, will you give me money? But the employer is saying, I want you to be here because I want you to represent my company. Yeah. And so from the very beginning, there's this real tug-of-war between the employer and the employee, just in their mindset, their motivation for coming and showing up for work that day. And so this idea here of 70% of American workers are either actively or passively disengaged, it's just because we're just not hitting on the same, we're not touching the same value systems.
Now, what I have found is that, it seems as though the leaders who can really inspire people and really get people to perform at a high level, they all do these 11 attributes that Napoleon Hill wrote about. They all found a way to be able to grow personally and then to ultimately grow others. Right. And Jack Welch, the former CEO of GE, he says this: before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. Now, when you become a leader, success is all about growing others. And I know that's what you help people do, and your book's entitled Grow.
Bingo.
All about helping people to grow. And so let's dive into these 11 attributes. And I'd like to get your feedback on this and kind of hear how we can apply them to our own lives.
Sounds great.
So the attribute number 1, unwavering courage. Napoleon Hill writes, unwavering courage based upon knowledge of self and of one's occupation. No one wishes to be dominated by a leader who lacks self-confidence and courage. No intelligent follower will be dominated by such a leader very long. Clay, from your experience, why is it so important for someone to demonstrate unwavering courage if they truly want to become a leader?
Well, I think first of all, to make sure that we have for me, to make sure that we have a good definition of unwavering courage.
Yeah.
You know, I think it can be pretty easy for us to get this picture of, Maximus. And he's the man with the sword, and he's the strongest guy around, and he's ruggedly handsome type of thing. And this guy is the picture of courage. But Clay, I don't know about you, but I didn't have very many of those moments when I was starting my company where I felt like I was the guy with the sword. Follow me.
Yeah.
But my unwavering courage was just not stopping. Just keep going, even when I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
Because I was planning on that client signing up, but they didn't. I was planning on selling that product, but it didn't happen. And so for me, unwavering courage was just keep going. Don't stop.
I found this, and I don't know if it seems like that, and we talk about this a lot on Thrive, but it seems like that, the motion is what we have to do if we want to get to success. I mean, your success is over here. We've got to take motion. But it seems like we get the E in the way, and it just kind of blocks all the momentum here. We can't move because this the emotion is in the way. It seems like we just can't really move. We get stuck there.
Oh, completely.